I'll bet you can think of a variety of reasons you'd need to count something in Excel. And I'm sure you'd agree that from time to time there are different types of data that you'd need to count under different circumstances. Well, like almost every other task in Excel, there's a function for that. At this contact center, we've entered the number of refunds processed daily. To get the total number of days over the 14-day period where refunds were actually done, we can use the count function. It simply counts the number of numeric values in a range or list. Let's type equals, count, open parenthesis, the range of cells with data that we'd like to count, and close parenthesis, 7 days. Let's type number of days here. The count function will count dates, percentages, currency, and other types of data formatted as numbers. Let's expand our column. And notice that the count here isn't the same as the count we'd see in our status bar at the bottom of our screen. That count simply tells us the number of cells within our selection that contain data, any data. So the count that's here, 11, includes the text that we've typed for Saturdays and Sundays. The count in our status bar is more like the count A function. Now, since the refunds desk is closed on weekends, our agents work the help desk instead. So we've entered text in these cells. Since they're not numeric values, the count function ignores them. But just like the status bar, the count A function in Excel counts all cells that contain values, whether these are logical, text, or numeric values. So our count A function gives us the same total as the status bar did. So let's just type that this is what we got with our count function, and this is what we got with count A. The count A function even counts errors. So if we'd entered equals n/a, which is an invalid name, a name error is displayed in the cell, and the count A function adds this cell to its tally and changes our count from 11 to 12. What if we wanted to count the opposite? How many days no activity took place? Then we'd use the COUNTBLANK function. It does exactly what it sounds like. It counts the number of cells that are blank. And the format or syntax is similar to the count and count A functions. We type equals, COUNTBLANK, open parenthesis, select our range, and close parenthesis. 3 days. And these are the 3 days that are blank. Easy and straightforward. So this is what we get with our COUNTBLANK function. Now sometimes a cell looks blank, but as far as Excel is concerned, it isn't, because it carries a space, and a space is considered a character. So let's get inside this cell, type a space, and watch to see what happens here. Our count A changes from 11 to 12, and COUNTBLANK changes from 3 to 2. So the count A function will count a cell with a space, and the COUNTBLANK will not count a cell with a space. It's just something to watch for in case we get an unexpected result. So let's delete that space. But what if we use zeros instead of blanks to record the number of days when there was no activity? So if this said 0 instead of blank, then of course we no longer have blanks. In that case, we'd have to use the COUNTIF function to count values equal to 0 in order to determine how many days no activity took place. So those are some of the types of data that Excel can count. And we can nest these functions with others, like the AND function, for even more flexibility.
Ready to learn more about Microsoft Excel? Then check out the full course on GoSkills.com. Click the link in the description.